Hey, it's Tim, Pickup Truck Plus SUV Talk, and I wonder if this is going to be a problem that we need to discuss, or if I'm just making a mountain out of a molehill. So yesterday I towed a camper, a fifth wheel camper, this 2024 Chevy Silverado LTZ, Duramax diesel, crew cab, all that kind of stuff. And I posted some pictures online, and people commented immediately on how tight it was in the bed height between the bed, top of the bed, and the camper. Not much room. And so actually it created an issue for us backing the camper in because I had to go over a curb. And so I go over the curb, raise the back of the bed up that kind of meets the bottom of the fifth wheel camper. And it was touch and go for a little bit. So what I want to do in this video is I want to ask you the question. You guys are going to see the data. You guys can play judge, jury, executioner, all that kind of stuff. And I'll tell you kind of the reasons why we have things set up this way and how, well, it's a tough thing to figure out. It's a dilemma. So let's go ahead and I'm going to play the video from yesterday and kind of show you what I'm talking about. This is really handy. You'll see some B-roll of us attaching this trailer, and you'll see the gentleman who's my cousin who hops in here and goes over easily to hook up the fifth wheel without having to crawl on his belly and do something weird underneath the truck, because the truck is actually taller. This is one of my complaints with the 1-tons, is they've gotten so tall, and you see this camper's not any taller, and I just and do my knuckle. That's not a whole lot of room. And so they've made these trucks taller, which is a little unfortunate because campers haven't got that much taller, and so that's what's going on there. Okay, there you go. Now you saw what the gap was. Now you're probably wondering, well, why is that done that way? Well, going back to 2017, I've been talking to Chevy engineers about that, and Ford engineers and Ram engineers, and what's going on. Why are these trucks getting so tall? Remember back in the day, you know, they were shorter, they weren't as tall. Two-wheel drive actually was shorter than four-wheel drive. You didn't need that tall of a truck, and the campers over the years haven't really changed how tall the gooseneck goes in or how tall the fifth wheel goes in. And so we have a situation now where we have this tight clearances. And so why is it done that way? Well, it's right there. It's for airflow and performance. If you look back at the numbers, we've really dramatically increased the torque and horsepower numbers of these engines. And they're done with a lot of turbos. Turbos need cold air. They like to run hot, but they need cold air coming through to feed them to get all that torque. And there's a new J2807 standard for towing, which means you have to meet the towing recommendations, you have to go up Davis Dam, you have to perform at a certain temperature. And the biggest issue these days for these trucks is not that the engines run super red hot. They'll run like it's on fire, it almost seems like. It's keeping it cool. You got to do it at a certain temperature so it doesn't overheat. And so what do? Well, we made the grill bigger. So if you look at these grills for the 2024s and the 2021s and you know, newer heavy duty trucks, the grill height has gotten taller to increase more airflow. We also have hood scoops as well to get more airflow in. We have different ways along some of the half-ton trucks. They'll have a different spot here lets airflow through. So we're all about airflow, get more airflow. So when we do that, we make the grill taller. Okay, if the grill goes taller, then the truck goes a little bit taller, right? So the cab is taller as well. Well, why is the cab taller? Well, if you think about from the 1970s and 80s to today, guys have gotten taller. Well, not me, but most guys have gotten taller. And so you have the situation where you want more height for your head. See how this is cut out there? We want to be able to fit bigger guys in here comfortably, so we made the cab taller. So you have a situation where, okay, the cab is taller, right? This cab is bigger than what it used to be. Trust me, go get in a 1960s and 70s or 80s heavy-duty truck. That cab's taller. We have the cab taller. We get the front grille taller. Well, what does that mean for designers? That means the bed's taller. And the reason for that is they want a really nice style belt line. They want the belt line to be perfect. They want everything to kind of look really nice. They want the hood and the bed to be about the same height. And so it creates this nice look for this truck. Now, what designers have said is they don't want to drop this bed anymore because then it looks goofy. If you remember like K trucks over in Japan, and they're starting to be more popular over here, they have a tall cab and then a really short bed. Bed goes really short. It's kind of more usable as far as towing. A lot of farmers around here will take this bed off and put a headache rack and a flat bed there. That way they can do a better turn with a gooseneck or a fifth wheel without hitting the side. I can't tell you how many times I've seen trucks in my area, brand new trucks, have a crease like right through here, and that's the gooseneck and the fifth wheel creating that crease. Now in our case, we hooked up the fifth wheel, and you can see just a little bit of the plastic got messed up a little bit. Not a big deal, not a, oh my gosh, I need to follow the accident report, let me clean the dirt off, but we see just a little bit here, and that is from that fifth wheel. There's nothing I can do about it because the fifth wheel's so tight there, going over a curb, I'm gonna have that problem. Now, I did ask them, I think it was 2019, they told me they dropped the bed height by 1/2 inch. I said, okay, you know, 1/2 inch doesn't mean a whole lot when it's gone up so high. So I thought, well, let me grab my tape measure and let's figure out how tall it is right now from the wheel. Okay, handy dandy tape measure. I'm going to put it right in the center of the wheel. To the top, looks like about 59.5 inches. Now, I am 5'7", 8 with boots on. Well, okay, more like 5'6" with sandals on. And yeah, here I am next to the bed. Now, I can't really use the bed at all because I can't, there's no way I can get in there. And then the other thing that happens is they want more volume in the bed. And so what they do is they make the bed size a little bit taller to create more volume. And yeah, I have to use a step. So yeah, this truck is obviously too big for me. And I could get used to using it. It's a great workhorse. You'll see the towing video. It did a great job. But those are the issues that I think are coming up. And so the question I have talked to a lot of farmers about and ranchers, and they have literally taken and cut their goosenecks, cut some inches off of it, and re-welded it together to try to get these goosenecks to fit in the newer heavy-duty trucks. That sounds incredibly unsafe to me. But I'm curious your guys' thoughts. You know, is it a situation where it's not the automaker's fault, we want more power, want more torque, give it to me, I'll make do with what the deal is going to be? Do fifth wheel manufacturers and gooseneck trailer companies need to change the height of their goosenecks to make that happen? Is there some sort of aftermarket solution to take like this Kurt hitch? Maybe that Kurt hitch needs to have a situation where we need to put a lift on that Kurt hitch to raise that up to put the fifth wheel hookup to go higher. You know, it'd be interesting. I'm just curious to you guys' thoughts. What do you guys think the solution is? Do you guys think it's a problem? Do you think it's a mountain over a molehill? Do you think I'm just making bitching about nothing? Or do you think it's a real thing? Again, I've talked to some farmers or ranchers who really are concerned about it. And I've talked to other people that just say, well, we don't use the bed anyways, so screw it. We'll just take it off and fix that problem. Problem solved easily. All right, so check out more videos over here at the website down below as well, pickuptrucktalk.com. As always, thanks for watching. I will see you down the road.